Welcome to After Dark at the Fix Stops Roundtable, featuring Katrina, Ness, Vanessa Collins, and Ted Ings. This episode is brought to you by BG Products, partners beyond products. And now for your hosts, Ted Ings, Vanessa Collins, and Katrina Ness.
Good evening, everyone, and happy Wednesday. Thank you all for showing up to our Fix Stops Roundtable After Dark show. Tonight, you all may be wondering, where is Ted Ings? Tonight, it is only Vanessa and I running the show. We can see Ted in the comments currently, but we brought in two of our good friends from Northwood University, who we are also on our auto show executive board with. We have Alexander Mazon, our general chair, and Ethan Moots, our aftermarket chair of the show. Thank you guys for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so we have a lot to talk about tonight, mostly, auto show stuff and a little bit of, Northwood University, because we all know and love it. And I know a lot of us at the Fix Stops Roundtable have gotten very familiar with it through Vanessa and I, and just interacting with other students through the comment section and through LinkedIn. So we're excited for some fun chit chat.
So excited. So we know NUIS. Here's some little information. It's North America's largest outdoor new car show. Over 65 brands, 500 plus vehicles on display, 100% run by students, and free to the public. So my question for you guys, which I feel like a lot of people are wondering, is how can we support the show? It's free to the public. How can everybody support or donate to the show?
Sure. I'd say the simplest way to, support is show up. And I guess another good way too is check out our website. And there's some good opportunities for sponsorships, just ways to get involved. Share our social medias, which our Vanessa Collins is doing a great job on. She handles all of our socials. And there's a very big way in the aftermarket to help out as well. So if Ethan Moots, our aftermarket chair, if you want to touch on that a little bit, go ahead.
Yeah, of course. So we have a couple very unique opportunities in the aftermarket. The biggest one would be our two-tier sponsorship, which provides a student with the opportunity to attend Apex SEMA. During the process, it's basically the company that sponsors. They're getting an which is really exciting. It gives students the opportunity to engage in some experiential learning. I've been to the show twice myself, and just seeing what happens at the show and being able to be in the mix of things and kind of see the industry, the aftermarket industry, that being full circle, is really valuable to us as students. Not only that, but the connections you make at the show, the value of those can't be understated. That's my favorite thing to do, is to get out and talk to industry people. And I know that a lot of students in our aftermarket program and our other majors as well that attend the show, that's one of the biggest takeaways they get from that. So really great opportunity. We are very open to anyone who wants to participate, and we would love your support.
Awesome. Yeah, there's super easy ways to get involved with the auto show and support us, because like Vanessa said, it is free admission and 100% student run. So what's it like being student run? What kind of obligations do we have to take on? Share a little bit about that from your guys' perspective.
Sure, yeah. So what's funny is that directly after our last show, it starts all over again. So there's about a 2-week waiting process where some things get handled. The new general chair gets picked, and just some minor work. But then right after that, the board gets picked through a process, and then you start pretty much the week after that. So you do your board meetings on Fridays, department heads on Thursdays, sort of just a little preview, and you sort of work with all your departments. So your divisionals, your finance chairs, your marketing chair, sort of just to get everything up and running as fast as you can. And I guess the easiest way to do it is to get ahead of schedule, which this year we are blessed to be able to do that. And yeah, it's a 12-month process. It really is. And it's crazy. After every single weekend, this will be my 5th auto show, doing my master's program starting in August. after each weekend, you're like, wow, 12 months for 3 days, but it's so fulfilling at the end of each weekend. And you walk around and you're truly like, this is an experience that you can't get anywhere else but Northwood University. So, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Look at Vanessa. Tony's in the comments saying, can I get involved?
Yes, you can.
To build off of a little bit what Alex said,
Yeah.
with the show being 100% student run, there's something that needs to be said about working with your peers. We all hold each other to what I think is a very high standard. And we all go to Northwood. We're all Northwood students, so everybody knows each other, and it really is a testament to the things we learn here at Northwood, and the kind of people that we bring to the school, that we can operate at that high standard. Like Alex mentioned, we're pretty far ahead of schedule, and that is a testament to everybody on the board: Vanessa, Katrina, Alex. We've all been working 24/7. We all have busy schedules. We all have things to be at, but we all have the work ethic that we're willing to put in the time and the effort to make the show the best as humanly possible. And I think that's one thing that I wanted to bring up, is that it's working with your peers, it's holding each other to that high standard that our show has. And at the end of the day, we're all in it because we want to better ourselves, and I think that that only makes everybody on the board better and everybody involved with the show. So
yeah,
and to touch on that a little bit more, we have 20 executive board members who are all full-time students. So we are enrolled in anywhere from 12 to 15 or more credits, and while doing that, we run the International Auto Show at the same time. So it's not like this is our only job. We are full-time students first, then we do this. And it's just it's a blessing to have not only 20 executive board members, but also anywhere up to 300 more students involved, whether that's being a team member or a captain for a manufacturer. So the reach of how big this show is truly speaks testaments to Northwood and what we learn here.
That's awesome. And speaking of the manufacturers and OEMs, what's it like with students working with them? And are the companies receptive to the entire show and what we are doing here on Northwood's beautiful campus? Or what's that like, because we are students and taking on a huge role?
Sure. So I'll sort of give a little bit of background. So I started off as the Asian divisional, which with that you work directly with Asian manufacturers such as Toyota, Kia, stuff like that. And then I moved up to operations share, where you sort of do hand-in-hand work with some of these OEMs and manufacturers. And at first it's a little bit intimidating, and you're like, oh my goodness, I don't know if these high-level people are going to take me seriously hearing student-ran auto show. And it's pretty amazing how receptive they are to it. And they there's a lot of positive feedback every single time. They're like, wow, not only do you guys put on a auto show, but the largest outdoor auto show in North America. That's pretty amazing. And you're doing it as a student. So they're very, very receptive. Most of the times they are, open arms and happy to help us. But there's some times where it's not so much, but that's life, and that's sort of part of that learning process of, getting real world experience. So yeah, Ethan, if you want to touch on that a little bit, because I know you work hand in hand with some of these aftermarket companies.
Yeah, of course. So as aftermarket chair for the show, I am responsible for anywhere around 30 different manufacturers, distributors, retailers. We even have some racing teams in there. And it's definitely a unique experience, but I enjoy the challenge. So to be able to be in the position as a student to communicate with the companies that I just mentioned, it definitely brings into perspective kind of the professional relationship of things. And I know for one, it's really prepared me for, my future. And then the students involved in the show, obviously outside of the executive board, I've never heard a bad thing about any of our students being captains. They always step up to the plate. They always go 100% effort into things. And And, it really speaks to, I guess, the quality of students we have here is that, they're engaged. They want to learn. This is a volunteer thing. So students aren't, other than connections and working with a company for the weekend, they're not getting paid to be there. So it really goes to show that our students want to be there. And I think the companies involved see that. And it just makes them even more willing to participate in our show. And I couldn't ask for any better, companies to be involved. Every company I've been in contact with has been great. And most of them are willing to support, which is fantastic. So I guess the reception from the industry is positive. They recognize that, we're the younger generation. We're going to be the future of the industry. And they want to do anything they can to support us, at our time when we're learning and we're at school and, we're just getting first introduced to the industry. So.
Yeah. And Ethan, you talked a little bit about like holding each other accountable earlier. And I think also you have to hold yourself accountable a lot because other generations, future generations are relying on you to keep good reputations with these companies and these industry professionals. So if you mess up once, that's the possibility to lose someone for, forever. We've been doing this for 61 years now. So we've held on pretty good reputations, and I think we've all been killing it a lot.
Yeah, and I'd like to touch on that a little. It's funny you said that because it's not only the show about not only about your show, it's about legacy and where we're going from there. As a general chair, the biggest compliment you could hear is this show was so much better than mine from the person before you. And that's sort of what you want to leave behind, and you want to build those connections with local dealers, manufacturers, all those people, keep them strong, and keep our reputation going for another 61 years. So definitely personal responsibility, which is something we learn here big time at Northwood, and keeping that legacy of what we do here is vital.
Definitely, because we're only in these positions for 1 year before the baton gets passed to the next general chair and the next new board. So
yeah,
short terms.
And speaking of, how you said having this year's show be better than the last, it has me wondering, what are the new additions to the 2024 Northwood University International Auto Show that you can speak on and share to our audience?
Sure. There's not a lot I could speak on, just given that, nothing in life is 100%. So I don't want to say something and then something happen. But there's a few cool things in the workings, a little bit of expansion. Northwood University was honored to have a gift given to us by the Maury family. And so we're getting a new space by our Jordan building, which will be cool to utilize. That should be done in August. There's some expansion coming. There's some new, cool, exciting things coming to the show, and I'm really looking forward to. And I'm sure Ethan can speak on that a little bit for the aftermarket as well.
Oh yeah. So in the aftermarket division terms of things, one of my biggest focuses was to provide students with the most opportunity, and part of that was listening to some of their requests. And I've gotten a lot of requests on variety. So in the aftermarket, we have retailers, we have distributors, we have manufacturers, but they're all from, different parts of the industry. And, a lot of our students love the performance side of things. They love, the performance modification, the racing industry, everything like that. And so that's been one of my biggest focuses, was kind of bringing that missing piece back into the aftermarket division. And, it's really exciting to say that I've been able to make some connections, and I'm hoping to see a bigger variety of performance companies, racing companies, things like that. Because, at the end of the day, that gets students excited to participate, that gets companies excited to participate in the show. And yeah, I'm really excited for it. And I can't wait to see what it looks like in October when it's all said and done. I'm just really excited to see where things go. So
yeah, we also have an addition plan, not to just make it a car show you walk around, but somewhere you could stay for the weekend. have a good time, enjoy the full weekend, and not just look at a bunch of cars, although that's great and that's my passion. But we want to make it a place for families to come, hang out, have a great time on our beautiful campus, enjoy our beautiful students, and have a great weekend.
So speaking of like the weekend and events around it, what kind of events does Northwood host around the auto show that weekend?
Sure. So we have a VIP panel in the morning before our opening ceremony. This is where true automotive professionals and VIPs come in and talk to our students and prospective students about the industry, where it's been, where it's going, and sort of projections from there. We have a CDK Women's Roundtable event at our show as well. And for our sponsors, we have a Thursday night preview, which is an exclusive event for them to enjoy the show under the lights. Just a sort of private preview with our executive board and some of our VIP guests.
That's awesome. Love that. Well, I know we were just talking about the aftermarket division. So I was just wondering, how is it different from the other divisions of the show? If you could speak more on that.
So the aftermarket division is very unique in the variety of companies that we bring. More on the new car side, it's all the OEM manufacturers. And on the aftermarket side, we get the unique opportunity to encompass the suppliers, the retailers, the distributors. Like I mentioned, some race teams even come to the aftermarket division. And it really brings some variety, not only in the products, but in the student experience as well. Our student captains are responsible for learning the ins and outs of the companies, what they do, what they make, who they sell to. And that really provides us with a unique opportunity because of the variety. And I think that contributes to the experiential learning of our students that participate in the show. One year they may be in the shoes of a supplier. One year they may be in the shoes of a distributor. One year they may be in the shoes of a retailer. So that's really where the aftermarket is unique, is that there's a lot of different opportunities for our students to learn about the industry and make connections within the industry.
Yeah, and I'd say it's a great way to link both the new car side and the aftermarket division. Here at Northwood, we have an automotive management and marketing program, and then we have an automotive aftermarket management program as well. Both of them are amazing programs, obviously. It lets us do what we do here. But during the auto show weekend, it's truly a way to connect some of the OEMs with the aftermarket side, sort of what you get on the OEM side, and then versus what anything after you purchase your vehicle, you can come see and get displayed at our auto show. So anything from tires to lifts on trucks, and so you get to see your brand new truck and then what you could do to your brand new truck. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and to build off of that, the aftermarket division isn't just, there's no constraint on major. So we do have a lot of crossover. Say you're a finance major, or you're an automotive marketing and management major, or maybe even a marketing major, and you spent some time on the OE manufacturer side. A lot of kids come over to the aftermarket division and they're like, wow, I never knew that about the aftermarket, and that there's so many avenues to it, and there's so many different opportunities. So at the end of the day, they're still businesses that need to be run. So they need marketing people, finance people, supply chain people. And I think that really opens students' eyes to the opportunities that are there, making it an even more valuable experience for them, and an avenue that they could go down in their future career.
Yeah. So speaking of a little bit like connecting and what we do at the auto show with making connections, what other opportunities does Northwood offer in order to go out and connect? Like, I know we have some examples of NADA and HDAW, Apex and SEMA, and I know both of you are heavily involved in that. So what kind of experiences has Northwood given you through these big, conventions?
Sure. Not only can you get employment opportunities through those, but you build your network for life. I remember 2 years ago at NADA, I met someone, and they're all, I'll keep in touch. And I was like, well, yeah. And today, to this day, we still talk. So the connections you make at these events and the opportunities that they bring you are second to none. And it's pretty amazing how Northwood could put that together. Whether it's going to HAW, like you mentioned, NADA, Apex SEMA, even some of the smaller opportunities. Even when I was a freshman, we got to go tour dealerships, and we made a podcast with our professor, and we're comparing the difference between the Audi and the Volkswagen. Just live learning opportunities that we get nowhere else. That's sort of what Northwood brings, and experiential learning. We sort of get thrown right in. So something else to touch on that is the internship opportunities we get. They're unique. Most internships, you get thrown in and they give you some paperwork or whatever. But most times with Northwood, they throw you in and you're live. You're live day one. Every decision you make counts. And if you mess up, you mess up. But they have trust in us, and they have trust in our learning and what we learn inside and outside the classroom that we'll be able to execute. And it truly is an honor that we're not just coffee getters, but we're true valued employees of these companies. So.
Yeah, and to build off your point there, being on the aftermarket side of things, I've been to numerous different industry events, like we mentioned, Apex SEMA, HDAW. As part of the aftermarket club as the president, we go to PRI every year. I just got back from MEMA Vision, and it's a unique experience at those industry events, and it's really a good opportunity for our students to see the industry that they're getting into, to meet the people that they're going to be working with every day. And like Alex mentioned a little bit, it's the connections. Coming to Northwood as a freshman, never did I believe that I was going to be able to go to these industry events and see multiple people that I know. But now, I'm walking through the floor of Apex SEMA, HJW, and I'm seeing people I know, and it's all about keeping those relationships up. And how are you? It's been a while, but it's great to see you. And like Alex mentioned, that's where some of our biggest opportunities come from, is keeping up relationships and networking. And once we get out of Northwood and we graduate, those relationships are only going to become more valuable when we're looking for full-time jobs or internships while we're in school, or even with the auto show. A lot of my connections came from attending industry events and just putting myself out there and meeting people. So it's really valuable to us to have those opportunities. They are what we make out of them. And I think overall our students do a really good job at being able to network with industry professionals and market themselves as, young professionals that are looking to get into the industry. And overall, it's just a really valuable experience for us.
Yeah, totally.
Amazing.
And
So,
Sean touches a little bit on our next pop-up event for you two. Sean Kingery and Kathy are some of our really good friends at the Fixed Ops Roundtable. They are up in Wisconsin, and this summer, as you both know, we have full tank camp for the younger generation of the automotive industry to come up and kind of experience what college is like, what the automotive industry is like. So we're gonna have a pop-up panel there, and a lot of people from the Fixed Ops Roundtable come up and join us. Mazon, I believe you're coming to that, correct?
Yes, yeah, I'll be in attendance. So
Yes, Mazon will also be there, so you'll get to interact with everyone. But just speaking of connections too, because the last pop-up panel is where Vanessa and I actually met Ted, and is the only reason we are here with all of you guys right now and doing this. Here's another pop-up panel Ted has had before. We have Tully, Ed Roberts, Sarah Vantine. Here we see Ted, Mike Stoll, Cole Briggs, LG, Sarah Vantine, a lot of
Katrina.
Yeah, there's me and a couple other Northwood students. We have Brooke, who was in the chat earlier today. We have Carson. So a good group of people. And, I'm so happy Ted was able to come up and we were able to kind of interact with him and, have his pop-up event at Northwood. And obviously he'll be up this summer and then in the fall. So lots of great connections to be made there.
Yeah. Back to, I know you guys have been on the e-board for 2 to 3 years now. And so you've definitely spent some time, being in charge, running this entire thing. And so I was just wondering, what is each of yours favorite part about being involved in the auto show, whether that was, when you were a captain or now on the board? Just share your favorite part of it.
Sure. Freshman year, it was definitely the cars. But something that the leader in front of me sort of said in a video we made, and it sort of touches home every time, is the cars are great, but the show they're just an excuse for the show and to get to know your people. So the people are my favorite part. Having an executive board and having a group of 20 to 21 people each year to learn and grow and experience 12 months of hard work with is truly unforgettable. And not only the executive board, but you walk around the show, you see your captains and you see your teammates, and you're proud of the weekend. And so something that touches home is definitely the team and the people you work with.
Yeah, and I'd say I've kind of two favorite things. Number one is definitely the camaraderie. The show is a really special event for not only our board, but everybody on campus. If you've been on campus, you've seen the show. If you haven't, I wish you'd be able to see it, but our entire college campus turns into a full-fledged car show. And it's really a special thing to be a part of, and I think everybody understands that. And it just takes it that extra mile to make it even more special for our students and everyone involved. And then the second thing is just being able to provide such a unique opportunity for our students. I've never heard of any other university doing a show like this. So part of recognizing that it's a special show is being able to take advantage of that opportunity. And one of my favorite things is being able to provide our students with that opportunity to grow their network, to make industry connections, to learn how to represent a company, learn how to organize a team. And, it just overall, it's a special experience. And the value that it provides all of our students, from the executive board to our captains, to our team members, those are the things that I most enjoy about it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, just from, being part of it myself, you gain a lot more than what you kind of think you will. You gain everything of what you guys said and everything under the moon. You learn how to talk to people. You learn how to, represent a brand and put out the best image of yourself. And doing that at such a young age, it really gets you kickstarted on your career, gives you a great image for, these industry professionals that are around you, and just overall well experience. And I'm so happy I'm here and able to participate in this. And I know all of you are as well.
It's amazing. And so, October, everybody come out to our auto show. But in the meantime, we do have our next Fixed Ops Roundtable event. Katrina, do you want to tell everybody about that?
Of course. So our Fixed Ops Roundtables 90s Rewind is coming up May 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th. This is a 4-day virtual event. You can get your complimentary tickets at fixedopsroundtable.com. Yes, they are complimentary. And with the signing up to get your ticket and also following Dealer Scanning and TEDings on LinkedIn, you will be entered in a giveaway to win a free Apple Vision Pro. There is no purchase necessary, and this grand prize could be yours.
Alex and Ethan, you better get on that.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for hopping on and doing this episode with us. It means the world to us and Ted, and to, the e-board in general, having our names out there and informing everybody and all of our Fixed Ops friends on what NUIS is all about is amazing. So thank you guys for coming.
Yeah, thank you for having us. It's an honor each time we get to come on here and spread awareness about our event and spread the great news about our great people working on it. So,
yeah. Well, everyone, we will be back on Monday with Ted. So stay tuned for that and have a great rest of your night. Bye, guys.